walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for me. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. We are here for another episode of Transfer Talk. Apologies for being late. Formula One got me a little bit late there. But we've got plenty to talk about. We haven't got long. We've only got a 50-minute show instead of an hour show today. So let's get straight into it. Before we do that, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel with notifications on. We're 3 away from 350. It'd be mega if we can do that today. If you watch on YouTube, Twitter, come join us on YouTube. Get involved in the comments, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel if you like the content. But let's get straight into it. What are we talking about today? Well, we're talking about this wanker. Gareth Southgate to be given a new contract regardless of how he performs on Tuesday. I'm about to have a rant. So that's all I'm saying. We're also talking Grealish. Grealish to City. There's an update from Fabrizio Romano. Also, Spurs are looking at Steven Gerrard as a possible candidate for the head coach job. Also, Arsenal looking at Sterling and Mahrez this summer. Mega there. Will they do it? That is the question. And last but not least, actually, we've got two more. Real Madrid are interested in Diego Dalot. Mainly the interest coming from Carlo Ancelotti. As you'll remember, Ancelotti was very interested in Diego Dalot when he was manager of Everton. And last but not least, Manchester City want Reece James, which I think is the most shocking bit of that. So we've got plenty to get into, plenty to talk about. So let's, as I say, get into, because as I said, the time is of the essence, and the timing is not something we have too much of. But yes, do get your comments in. Let's go through some of them. Blue Cheese saying Reece James and Mason Mount to Man City. I mean, Mason Mount. Would Thomas Tuchel really do that? God knows. I mean, the Tuchel sell Mount. Mount has been arguably Chelsea's best player of the season. So, yeah, break from incomings to United, I see now. There's only so much I can say about Jadon Sancho and Rafael Varane. I mean, there is only so much I can say. I think they're dead horses now. They're in theory, we've spoken about them so many times. What's the bloody point? Southgate resigning equals more boring English football. I'm furious on Southgate. Just realised resign doesn't mean resign. Gerrard won't downgrade. Keep dreaming, Man City fans. You aren't getting any of them. Well, look, I wouldn't be so sure of that. No one thought that Carlos Tevez would jump from United to City. All things happen, don't they? It could be anything. Let's talk Southgate. Let's get straight into it. Southgate, the Football Association would love Gareth Southgate to continue as England manager beyond the end of his contract, regardless of the result on Tuesday's Euro 2020 last 16 tie against Germany. Why? Why would you say that now? Why would you give him a free fucking ride? United had the same issue with Ollie. Before cup final, we want Ollie. We're very happy with Ollie. We're going to keep Ollie. Ollie is amazing. Ollie sucks my cock every morning. Like, Jesus. Why is our national team run like fucking Manchester United? Like, the FA are basing their decisions off Manchester United. They're running England like the worst run club in Manchester, for fuck's sake. Manchester United aren't even the biggest club in Manchester anymore. Like, fuck my life. Every fucking time. Makes no sense to say this before such a crucial game as well. Before we're facing the fucking Germans. Why are we giving them a free ride? Well, our support is unwavering. Well, I fucking wish you'd have a little less support for him. We've just got out the groups. And when I say just, I mean barely got out the groups. And now we're thinking we'll just give Southgate another contract. What's the problem? That semi-final in the World Cup was flattering at best. We didn't have a hard run. The hardest game we had was fucking Colombia. And we still had to go to penalties there. I mean, Sweden we beat. We didn't have the hardest run up to the semi-final, and then we got beat by bloody Croatia because man was so negative. He was so negative in that game. The 3 at the back, the 5 at the back, the fucking 7 at the back, whatever you want to call it. He was negative, and that was the issue. That was the issue. We were too negative and it wasn't okay, and we lost, and that is why we lost, because we were too negative. We saw that in the game at Wembley this Euros. When we're a little bit more attacking, we are a bit better. We've got one of the world's best attacks. We've got Harry Kane, we've got Grealish, Sancho, Saka, Greenwood, Calvert-Lewin, Foden, Mount. The list is endless. Yet we continue to not know how to fucking use them. I mean, I swear, if I see Phillips anywhere near that midfield against the Germans on Tuesday, I'm going to lose my shit. I'm done with his bullshit. It is complete bullshit, and it does my head in. James won't join City. We'll get into that one. Croatia didn't win a single knockout game in 90 minutes that tournament now. Exactly. They weren't that good and we lost. James to City is fake news. Well, it's from the Athletics, so let's not chuck around fake news. I mean, look, you may not believe it. And look, I think it's real. I think City do want Reece James. The discussion is whether Chelsea want to let him go. That's a topic for a different day. But look, I feel the interest is genuine. But we'll get into that. Let's just go through the last of this. There's some quotes from the FA. Our support is unwavering, said FA Chief Executive Mark Bullingham. We are 100% behind Gareth. Gareth knows exactly how we feel about him. We feel he is brilliant both on and off the pitch. We want him to carry on. He's doing a great job regardless of Tuesday, absolutely. Saying this before the biggest game in ages against the bloody Germans, it fucking frustrates me. Gareth has done a brilliant job. In God's green earth, what are we classing as a good job now? Finishing top of the group. Well, come on. We scraped through that. I mean, scored 2 goals in the whole group stage, right? And we played Harry Kane in all 3 of them. I mean, man's clueless. Really solid defence. Well, I will say that. We have been very solid at the back. Maybe that's what the English FA want. And you know, I'm done with this Southgate out. I'm no longer Southgate out. Who the hell is giving him this job? Well, I want Mark Bullingham out now. I want the FA Chief Executive out. I want him gone. Because we're not going to get real change with this wanker in charge. Get him out. Get the chief exec out and take Southgate with you, and we'll bring in someone who actually wants to win. We want to win as a nation. We want someone who's going to deliver that. He's done really well on and off the pitch in every aspect. Well, yeah, he's a great politician in football. He knows the right things to say. He knows how to conduct himself. So yeah, I understand that. You want a yes man. We get that. We don't want a yes man. It's why you didn't like Capello. We would love him to carry on for sure beyond this contract. Has he indicated he wants to do that? We haven't got to that level of conversation yet. He's got our unwavering support because we think he's doing a brilliant job on and off the pitch. Every game we go into, we want to win, and we think he gives us the best chance. I mean, I don't know what you're watching. I don't think we're watching the same England because, yes, I'm saying it's coming home because I think it will. And I mean, let's be real, we've got the easiest side of a bloody draw, and we've only got one off game against France, and they've not looked great. But he doesn't fill me with confidence. I mean, if anything, it'll be an individual moment of brilliance from a footballer. It's the same issues United had with Ollie. It's easier to say that off the pitch he's been brilliant, but on the pitch he's been brilliant as well. Well, we're not talking qualifiers. Fuck that. Well, I expect us to get qualifiers. I mean, the last time we didn't, it was Steve McLaren. Nations League, lost to Belgium. World Cup, lost to Croatia. I mean, we should have beaten Croatia. Belgium's a bit more of a tricky side, but you can get at them. Put a bit of pace on that pitch. They've got slow centre-backs. You can get at Belgium. That's just mad. Semi-final in the World Cup, fantastic performance in the Nation League, some absolutely brilliant games. I disagree. That game against Belgium was shit. It was just shit. Pure crap. And that World Cup, flattering at best. We beat Colombia on penalties. Yes, we won our first penalty shootout. Believe it or not, I do expect England to win a penalty shootout against Colombians. Just chucking that out there now. And even that was a bit hairy as well. He's not been good enough. Just simply not been good enough. But that's enough on Southgate. He's just done my head in. We drew to Scotland, for crying out loud. We did. And we showed no passion either. I mean, Southgate's meant to be a passion merchant at best. I mean, does my head in. Just go. Do you know, if Southgate had an ounce of respect or dignity, he'll leave himself. He'll leave. Lampard for the England job, not a chance. Under 21s, yes, not the England job. I want a Potter. I want someone who isn't going to play a hexagon with two midfielders in the middle. No, Hersey, not Lampard. Well, yeah, I'm better than Lampard. Should I just cop my face, put myself on the England body and done? Like, no, I'm not. I don't want Lampard as manager. He needs the under 21. If Lampard wants the England job, he needs to go to the under 21s and prove it there first. Got a really good setup with the under 21s as well. We've got a lot of promising youth continuing to come through our academies. So if he wants the England job in the future, go to the under 21s, win some tournaments. Simple. How is Southgate getting a new deal? Fuck knows. I have no idea. Colombia lost to Japan. Sweden would not have been in the quarters if it weren't for an awful VAR decision versus Switzerland. Well, look, we would have beaten Switzerland as well, but that's not the point. That is not the point. Let's talk Grealish to City. There's nothing advanced or agreed. This is from Fabrizio. There's still nothing advanced or agreed for Jack Grealish. Man City are strongly interested in signing him, but no talks are ongoing with Aston Villa as of today. So as of today, there's nothing. Yeah, that's from Fabrizio. More as well. Man City's board considers complicated to sign both Grealish and Kane. Well, obviously, you're negotiating with Daniel Levy. I mean, that's going to be the most complicated one. Man City will make final decision on Grealish and Kane negotiations after Euros. Both English players are considered top targets, but nothing is happening while they're focused at the Euros. And the key bit for this is we know there's nothing happening yet. We are aware of that. What we do know, though, is that Manchester City are heavily interested in both of these players. Now, that doesn't mean that Manchester City are going to get both of them. Right? We're aware of that. But will they get one of them? I do think they can get one. I don't think they'll get both, especially if they're after a Reece James as well, which I think is a madness at best. I think you're going to have to really haggle Chelsea there. And I mean, it's the battle of the two negotiators because Man City are extremely good on negotiations and Chelsea are one of the best at it. So that would be the battle of the negotiators. That would be an interesting battle, to say the least. I would love to see that battle. Will it happen? I'm not so sure. I think Grealish to City is more likely. Kane to City, I think Daniel Levy wants 150 mil straight cash. He's not messing. He's put his demands 150 cash, take it or leave it. I don't think City will do that. I don't think City will go for 150 mil. Now, I think the only way that goes down is if Harry Kane goes back to Spurs and kicks right off. I mean, refuses to train, God knows what. Kane really needs to push this move. Daniel Levy, if Kane comes back training all happy, all good, not really saying much, only a few things in the press from his agents, Levy will be like, that's not a problem, not a problem. But if Kane starts going into training, kicking off, not refusing to train, then Daniel Levy may be forced. But even then, that at best might not be enough. I mean, he signed a contract. That's the issue. Daniel Levy is a real bitch to negotiate with. No one else is in for Kane. Manchester City are the only club in for Kane. No one else. Not Man U. Chelsea aren't in. Or all of that. It's mad. United need more than Sancho if they want to be the team they used to be. I would agree. Germany finished bottom. Colombia, Sweden are both poor sides. Or send in transfer requests. Yeah, the transfer request is an important bit, not crucial though, because even then Levy might just go, well, lovely, that's a request. I believe it or not, I'm not sticking to that request. It's a madness. It is a madness. Steven Gerrard to well, then I've lost all respect I had for Kane then. If he doesn't push for a move, his mentality is finished, out of it, done. He needs to push for a move, else I lose all respect. And I think a lot of people do as well. I think if he doesn't push for a move, a lot of people lose a lot of respect for Kane. And I think that's the danger. I think that really is the danger. Chelsea will go in for him last minute if they don't have Haaland by deadline day. Not a chance. There is no way you can get Harry Kane's transfer done in one day. Not a chance. Daniel Levy will probably say no, but I haven't got enough time to get a striker in. Leaving it to deadline day is ridiculously dangerous. I don't think they will. I mean, if they do, I'm all cool with that because we're going to be doing a deadline day special where I'll be streaming for 8 hours. We'll have obviously guests coming on and all of that. So, of course, I would love that. A lot of entertainment towards the end of the transfer window, which I do assume we will have. I think there will be a lot of big moves towards the end of it, maybe even on deadline day because of how short the break is. Obviously, after the Euros, a lot of business is going to happen outside of the Euros, so be really prepared for that. There's going to be a lot of business. Sancho, Varane, Haaland. There's so many. There's so many different big names moving, and obviously Liverpool doing business, Arsenal's, United, City, Chelsea, they all want to do business. So I think that gap between the end of the Euros and the start of the pre-season, start of the season, going to be so intense. There's going to be so many moves going on in that time, and even then, I think even during the start of the season, obviously we know the first 3 weeks they're going to have that. Niall, they're willing to pay 200 million for Harry Kane if it comes to that, which is insane. That is an insane amount of money. He certainly isn't worth that. Their number one target is Haaland, who they will go for all summer till deadline day. It's complete mad. Now, where do you get your funky intro, outro music from? The intro music I got from Filmmaker. It's an app on my phone. The other one, I want to say Magnico. Another app. Oh, Magisto. 2 apps on my phone, basically. That's how I made them. Obviously, now I've got my computer. We might be trying to do something slightly different, but it's all very difficult. From London to Taiwan, I've been around all about trying to put it. We are all heroes tonight. Absolutely. Let's talk Arsenal. A lot of it. Arsenal inquiring over Raheem Sterling and Riyad Mahrez as they begin to look at ways to enhance their front line for next season. At a time when Man City are making their first moves for Kane, Arsenal's recruitment team have decided to check on the status of both Sterling and Mahrez. Sounding out such players is a sign of Arsenal's intent to show ambition in this summer's transfer market, even though it is thought unlikely that either would join the Gunners. Arsenal are trying to gauge what level of player they can shop for this summer. In the past week, they have been linked with goalkeeper Ramsdale, that is, defender Ben White, midfielder Yves Bissouma, Albert Sambi, Lokonga, Ruben Neves, and James Maddison, as well as forward Andre Silva. All of those names are of genuine interest at a time when the club are trying to discover what they can expect to attract without European football to offer. So, in terms of this, let's look at some of their names. So, will Sterling go to the Emirates? No. Will Mahrez go to the Emirates? No. I don't think either of them would do that. I think you have to look at a different type of profile of player. Now, let's look at some of the ones they've been linked with. Ramsdale, yes. Ramsdale would join Arsenal, right? He's in the Championship at the moment, just got relegated with Sheffield United, a very good goalkeeper with England as well. So Ramsdale, yes, he would join. Ben White, again, would join. Arsenal are bigger than Brighton, so yes, that would happen. Bissouma, yes, that also would happen. They're very good. I think that, yeah, that easily could happen. In terms of getting those three. Albert Sambi, I'll be completely honest, I know nothing about him. It's Albert Sambi Lokonga. Yeah, I think he'll probably join as well. I think there's a lot of interest. They seem to be progressing very well there. Ruben Neves, yes, again, another guy who I think would join. Obviously, Wolves aren't quite on the level of Arsenal. Arsenal need to sink down a bit lower before that happens. Maddison, no, I honestly don't see Maddison going to Arsenal. Why the hell would he? He's got Europe with Leicester. Leicester, if I'm being brutally honest with Arsenal fans, are acting like a bigger club than Arsenal. Why would James Maddison leave? And look, Leicester are trying to bring in a lot of depth as well. I mean, Daka's just signed. They got Samori come in. They've got a real good core of youth players. The likes of Harvey Barnes, James Justin, Luke Thomas, with now Patson Daka, Tielemans, they've got a really good team there. So I don't see why he would do that. Andre Silva, yeah, he would join. I mean, Frankfurt aren't as big as Arsenal, Premier League, all of that, wages, blah, blah, blah. It's all of that. So there's that. Kenny, we have loads of players we don't use on high wages. We need to get rid of them. Haaland wants 500 grand a week. We have Danny Drinkwater on 130. Yeah, so you've got lots of players you need to move out. Dortmund will price Haaland out and move if we get Sancho, which we will. Arsenal want that Alexander Isak. Yeah, I have heard about Isak as well. I think they could probably get Isak as long as no other top team did. I think if Liverpool were in for Isak, Isak goes to Anfield. If United win for him, he goes to Old Trafford. Even if Leicester were in for him, I think he probably goes to King Power. Even if Villa were in for him, he probably goes to Villa Park. Big up to, I think that may be Wolf. I think that may be Mystic Wolf. I think that may be Wolf. There's no proof of release clause. If they have a release clause, they're going to lose double the money next season. If they don't have the release clause, they can make it as high as they want. Roman don't care. He just wants him. Well, there is a limit. If Dortmund say 300 million, you ain't getting him. You're just not, right? You're just not. Right, let's be serious now. Let's be sensible. Roman ain't just, yeah, he has money, but he's not downright stupid. You pay 300 million, you know how much that inflates the market. And then they'll be like, well, you pay 300 million for Haaland. We want 100 million for this defender or 150. He's not an idiot. He knows if he spends too much on this, it inflates the market too much. And that in itself will danger Chelsea because it means that they'll lose more money. It's stupid saying that. Stupid. They don't want to sell Haaland. They're going to force Haaland to stay. Well, look, it's certainly going to be an interesting one. Made a new account to sub to Niall, Mystic Wolf. Love to see that. But everyone be like Wolf. Be like Wolf. We are, I think, 2 away, or we're 3 away from 350. So let's try and get us to that. Probably going to haggle over a fee. Yeah, you definitely haggling. Kenny, they won't get 150 mil. Well, no, Daniel, there is no release clause, we think. We don't think there's release clause, because if there was a release clause, of course they'd sell him for the 150 mil. The fact that they're saying no, we'll wait next season suggests to me there is no release clause, because they're willing to wait, and because they're willing to wait until next season. That suggests to me that there is no release clause. Simple. If they're saying they're happy to wait till next season, there's no release clause. Simple as that. There's no release clause. There needs to keep him. Well, look, certainly be difficult, or the release clause might be in 2023, or it might be in 2024, whatever. I mean, if there's no release clause, they'll probably wait. I mean, Haaland is the most sought after player there is. I don't know how we got onto Haaland chat here. Madrid, let's talk a little bit about Real Madrid. They're interested in Diego Dalot. Real Madrid are interested in Diego Dalot. They are all following him before he joined Man U from Porto. Carlo Ancelotti is leading the recent interest. Real are again following him, and he's seen as an option to rejuvenate their defence. We also know that Carlo was very much interested in him when he was manager of Everton. We know that Ollie doesn't like him because if he did, he would have been playing, or he would have at least been a backup to Wan-Bissaka. Ollie also, I don't know what's going on with Brandon Williams. Brandon needs to leave to get the best out of his career. So yeah, there's a lot of movement, a lot of things that need to change for Diego Dalot. Milan are interested, but they want a loan with an obligation to buy or an option to buy, one of the two. But if Real Madrid really do want this interest, maybe he could be used as part of a deal for Rafael Varane. Obviously, the key bit is Rafael Varane. So I think the real interest is looking at Dalot. If Madrid really do want him, maybe you can be like, well, we want Varane, we can come with an agreement. So yeah, it's one of them. Last bit I want to talk about before obviously I allow people to come on and have their say. Manchester City have reportedly added Chelsea right back Reece James to their transfer wish list. The Athletics state that Pep Guardiola is a huge fan of the 21-year-old, and his club are interested in making a move for the young Chelsea star. Chelsea are not looking to sell, and with 4 years remaining on his contract, the Blues hold all the cards. For me, yes, they do. Chelsea do hold every single card that is in world football at the moment with this one, because he's got 4 years on his contract. He's happy at Chelsea. He's come through their youth academy. So I think, yes, Pep may want him, and Pep may think he's a really good player. Doesn't necessarily mean he's walking out of Chelsea by any stretch of the imagination. Now, can a deal be done? Yes. Any deal can be done. Right? There is not one deal in the world that cannot be done in football. Money talks. So if Chelsea say we want 90, 100 mil for Reece James and Man City go fine, they pay that, deal gets done. Personal terms can get done. Money talks. So yes, whilst obviously he's come through the youth academy, blah, 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 there's so much about this that that does mean that Pep and Man City hold cards. But again, that doesn't mean to say it will happen. What it means is that it could get done, but it's going to really, really be expensive. And as I said, it will be the battle of negotiators. Manchester City, one of the best negotiators in world football, going up against Chelsea, who are the best negotiators in world football, coming against two giants of the negotiation business, and they're going to be fighting. Now, if this does happen, it's for me and for, I'm sure, a lot of you, it will be really fun to watch. It will be watching two giants sort of fighting over one player. Do I think it will happen? No, I don't think it will happen for many reasons. There's not enough time in the transfer window to start messing around. If we think about the priorities for City, they really want Kane, they really want Grealish. Can they afford to spend time on Reece James when realistically Cancelo was not that bad last season? You've got Kyle Walker that plays there. You've got Zinchenko who plays on the left. Obviously, Cancelo can play on the left as well. So, you've also got Benjamin Mendy. So, I think this year it might get really busy for Man City because I think there's going to be a lot. I think there's going to be a lot of outgoings. I think a lot of outgoings are going to happen. And I think we might see a little bit of a new City team. But that's, again, not to say that will definitely happen. But it's certainly an interesting one. It's coming home. Yes, it is. Is Rafa still going to Everton? For those asking, my boss Daniel is not interested in the Spurs job. Chelsea will slap 150 mil on Reece James. Ravi said yes, confirmed next week. Did I miss Mbappe Liverpool talk? Yeah, let's just briefly talk about this because, as I said, we've already done many on this, and I wasn't intending to. I've completely forgot I said that I'll do it. Mbappe, no chance. Not a flying pig's chance. Firstly, he's probably priced at around 150 to 200 million pounds. There is no way Liverpool pay that. Not a chance. That's even before we discuss his contract, right? There is no way he fits the structure of how Liverpool are doing business at the moment. They don't have the money. They're not Manchester City or Chelsea of money sparingly from their owners. They do a buy to sell. Do you know how many top players you're going to have to sell to get Mbappe? Both Salah and Mane has to go. Really difficult to get him done this season. If anything, next season, if he runs his contract down, there's no fee around it, then Liverpool are probably one of the clubs that may look at doing that because with no fee, I'm sure they can look at something in terms of contract negotiations. I'm sure they can free up a bit more money at Liverpool to get him done then. But it certainly won't be like right now. It certainly won't be now. But what I will do is I will put the link in the chat. Obviously, I'm having to end this at literally like 5 minutes to 4. So obviously we can't be too long. I'll be on RJE TV at 4 p.m. discussing Euros, doing Euros predictor with Reece. So yeah, if you want to check me out there, make sure you do. And then straight after that, me and Reece are going to be on here at 4:45 for Wales versus Denmark. So really good amount of games there. Kenny has currently stood up. I'm not sure why he stood up.
I'm in my kitchen.
You're in your kitchen. Lovely. What did you want to talk about?
I wanted to talk about a certain someone called...
You want to talk about someone certain called what?
Raheem Sterling and Riyad Mahrez.
Raheem Sterling, Riyad Mahrez. Go for it. Nala, are you enjoying Copa America? It's not been too bad. Although God knows how many of them. I don't know when next Copa America is. We'll have a look at that. Jesus, this guy again. Yeah, Kenny's always popping on. But yeah, you want to talk about Sterling Mahrez? What do you want to talk about for that?
So, let me just say, they will most likely not join Arsenal. The reason they will most likely join Arsenal is because Arsenal just simply do not have the money to buy them.
Right, yeah.
And some Man City can just slap Arsenal. Like, we already know this. Man City can slap Arsenal out of the transfer market. We'll offer you £40 million. No, actually, we want you know what, £60 million, and then they're just like Arsenal 41 million pounds, an extra pound, and then if it does end up in a saga, you know, Arsenal will not get it. If it doesn't end up in a saga, Arsenal will not get it. Because the thing is with them is that Arsenal don't. City can have the power in the transfer market to slap sides of Arsenal. Because Arsenal are at the table, they're not really at anything. I don't think we're not thinking about this. Sterling and Mahrez will not want to go to Arsenal I think Riyad Mahrez would rather go to his former club than Arsenal. Because, quite frankly, from our side, Arsenal have no European football. And the thing is, that Arsenal will not get them. But if any Arsenal
I,
play, they get.
I think what they're doing is they're testing the market to see what sort of players they can attract to the Emirates. I don't think they're necessarily thinking they can get Sterling and Mahrez. I think they're testing the water to see what they can achieve without European football. I think they're in an unprecedented era, aren't they? Because certainly in my lifetime, Arsenal have always had European football to offer. Now they don't. I think they're having to go down a different route, and they're having to think about what players they can attract and think about and do all of that with. So I think they're in a really difficult situation in terms of there is no European football, so they're trying to work out the caliber of player. I mean, you think about the players they're linked with: Aaron Ramsdale, Ben White, Yves Bissouma, Lokonga, Neves, Maddison, Silva. Some of them won't go to Arsenal. Most of them will. I think Maddison definitely wouldn't. I think everyone but maybe Maddison, maybe even Silva, he might be sort of tempted by other top teams. I think I think Arsenal, what they're doing is they're putting feelers out to see what type of caliber of player they can actually achieve at the moment. I'm not sure what Kenny is doing. I mean, Jesus. I mean,
Well, yeah, I have to do it from outside.
Yeah.
That's what I do agree with that. You see the types of players they're linked with. Like, for example, they're linked with some former players as well. Aaron Ramsdale.
Yeah.
I think I do agree with that. So yeah, basically, they will. Wow, they won't get them, and if any Arsenal fan does think they get them, then they're quite frankly they'll leave this. Arsenal mid-table clubs aren't getting stuff from ours.
Yeah, I think, as I said, it's certainly an era of sort of putting feelers out there, seeing what they can do. But we are joined by Aaron. How are we doing?
Not too bad. Just getting ready for Wales, Denmark, and got all my sort of refreshments in place, ready for Alton Towers on Monday. So just been prepping for that, to be honest.
Yeah, sounds good. Obviously, talking of Wales, Denmark, we've got a watch along with me and Reece at 4:30. Italy, Austria with me and Andrew at 7:30. There is a space for Holland, Czech Republic if someone wants to do that with me. That's at 4:30 tomorrow. And then Belgium versus Portugal. Max doesn't have that one before anyone starts because I'm not having more than 3 people. I'm not having more than 2 people on, to be brutally honest, because it fucks with my scoreboard now. So I do apologise. Obviously, for England, I'll just allow the mob on, and you can do whatever ever people want. But for the other games, we are going to have a era of calmness. It's going to be a lot calmer. It's going to be a much better view, to be honest. But what do you want to talk about, Aaron?
Well, first of all, Southgate's contract's a joke, especially if we go out to Germany on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I can see why they've done it, to try and put off potential suitors from clubs like Tottenham, who are stupid enough to go for Southgate. But
I'd rather they just didn't do that and let him go to Tottenham.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it's embarrassing for Tottenham that the Sevilla manager, Julian Lopetegui, actually rejected them as well because he wanted to stay at Sevilla. So that's another manager that Tottenham's got rejected by. Obviously, it's not good for Crystal Palace at the moment.
The issue for Spurs, just briefly, the issue for Spurs is a lot of these managers are obviously at clubs and they've now started preparing for the summer transfer window. So I'm not too sure how many of them are going to be too keen on wanting to leave at this time. I think getting the manager, you would want to have done it sort of sooner rather than later, because now a lot of managers are very invested into their clubs. They're thinking about what they're going to do for next season. They're preparing their transfers and all that. So it's increasingly difficult now to go get a manager right now, because most managers, the best managers, are either taken or they've rejected Spurs. So they're in a really dangerous situation. Obviously, Gerrard, he has been linked a lot, sort of briefly around the Spurs job. So, yeah.
Yeah, Tottenham's in the mud. Tottenham's in the mud. Tottenham's in the mud. I feel sorry for Crystal Palace fans that Lucien Favre's rejected them, and it looks like he's not going to be the boss now because he wanted some more time out of management. But it looks like Steve Cooper's the one that's front running the talk, so it looks like Swansea could still lose the manager. Good luck to West Brom with Barnes as manager. Look, in terms of transfers, what's on the agenda? Hang on, what's on the agenda today? My mind's got blank.
Let me just qualm some things straight away. No, Fabrizio has not tweeted that out. Fabrizio 2 minutes ago tweeted PSG are working on final decisions for Hakimi deal, Leonardo, and direct contact with the Inter board. And
also one of their young is joining Barcelona.
Yeah, but that's not really out.
Yeah, I look at the future personally, so I like that personal bit anyway.
I don't really. I of course I look to the future, but I frankly don't know who that guy is, so I don't really comment on such a thing. I'm just qualming. There is no hijack of the Sancho bid. United are the only club in for Sancho. Nobody else is in for him. Chelsea want Haaland. If they don't, they want Kane or something like that. So there is no hijack. Romano hasn't just tweeted about it. I have Fabrizio's notifications on, so I don't miss tweets from Fabrizio because I'm not a full-blown idiot. So nice try, guys. But when I do a transfer show almost every day, the last thing I'm going to get caught on is Fabrizio Romano because I have his notifications on. Just like I also have notifications for a few of the tier one sort of journalists connected to the likes of Arsenal, Liverpool, United, and Chelsea. So nice try. I'm not an idiot. But yeah, carry on. But do you want to? Obviously, we've got to wrap it up in about 3 or 4 minutes. Cause I've genuinely got to go on channel. I'm going on RJB TV of Greece at 4 p.m. doing our knockout predictor, and then we're back here at 4:45 with Wales versus Denmark. So do you want to talk to me briefly about Gerrard to Spurs? Do you think Gerrard may go to Spurs?
Spurs are just clutching at straws, you desperate bastards. Gerrard will not go to Spurs. He will stay at Rangers.
Spurs are bigger than Rangers. Let's just cut that crap straight away.
Oh yeah,
the Premier League is bigger than the Scottish League.
But Gerrard will stay at Rangers because they are a better run club than Tottenham, and they are generally, unfortunately, even though Spurs are big by name, they're not big by trophies compared to Rangers. Spurs have got an empty trophy cabinet. Rangers,
but Aaron, Argyle or Doncaster could go to a Scottish League and probably win it a couple of times. Like let's not be. But
Spurs. I'm saying this now.
Yeah, but money. Spurs will offer Gerrard a much bigger contract than Rangers could ever dream of offering because of the amount of money within football. And I know people say, oh, he wants it, blah, blah. Money is the biggest factor in football nowadays. And I think people need to remember that football is no longer the romance. It's all about the money.
Oh, yeah, I know that. I think that's the one thing that's going to back this deal up, and that is loyalty. Yeah, I mean, we saw it with Valentin Ismail yesterday or a couple of days ago. You know, it was part of this Barnsley project, and now he's just jumped ship to West Brom. But if he's
there is no loyalty. I'm afraid to say
if the only loyalty by Christmas, he's gone. So there's no loyalty.
The only loyalty that Gerrard will have ever is the loyalty to Liverpool, being a fan or joining them from such a young age.
And that's the one thing that kind of doubts me about this deal. Will Gerrard actually go to a rival, or is it just where the money is? And I think that's why that's what makes this a very 50-50 situation. But I still don't believe Gerrard will join a irrelevant, trophyless club like Tottenham, despite their name. And Kenny have a kip?
God knows. But we are going to wrap it up there. Apologies, it's not the longest transfer talk ever. The Formula One qualifying got a little delayed. Well, when I say delayed, I mean it didn't you know what I mean. It just overran a little bit. And I've got to go on RJB TV and do a knockout prediction with Thingy. Stevie is staying. All things could happen. All things can happen. Rangers are in the Scottish Premiership. But yeah, I mean, God knows, we'll have to wait and see. It's such a the Tottenham job is such a circus.
I've just had a Sunderland fan message me saying he thinks Sunderland will finish 15th and Donny Rovers will finish second place. Shows how much
I think he's fucking deluded. I think you to finish second is barbarically stupid considering the amount of players you. I think the amount of players you've brought in is barbaric to even think you'll finish second because of
no. I don't agree with that.
The jelly. I also don't think Sunderland will go down to fifth.
No. He said 15th.
Well, 15th for you.
No, the chief executive's come out today and said this season will be a rebuild season. We'll finish as high as we can, but next season afterwards will be the focus. It'll take a couple of years for this rebuild to settle. So, I'm not expecting anything more than a top six to top 10 finish. Even sixth place I'll take this season because it's a rebuild season. But we'll be investing in more.
Of course. But yeah, we've got to wrap it up there. In fact, I'm not sure I'm gonna get anything to eat until the bit in between the Wales, Denmark, and Italy, Austria. So, all fun and games to bring you the best content we can. And I'll ask Kenny to check his Twitter. Kenny, check your Twitter. Stevie is staying, done all of that. But Kenny, actually, before I start this, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel with notifications on. Check out our socials, Twitter, Let's Talk EPL, Instagram, Let's Talk EPL _ and all of that. Kenny, where can they find you?
You can find me at Sancho is coming. Kenny the United fan on Twitch, Kenny TV on YouTube, and the new item of Let's Talk EPL. I think I need some sleep, lad.
Yeah. You go get some sleep. Aaron, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Aaron_Challoner, Instagram at Aaron Challoner Official, TikTok at Aaron Challoner, Snapchat Coach_Challoner19. Both YouTube channel names are there right now. Throw Football DRFC on the road to 700 subs and 100,000 views, and Coach Chal on the road to 3,000 subs and 1 million views. This is my last stream until next week. So hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Hopefully, I'll be back for the England match, and we'll see what happens. Rose slide die. Keep living the coastline.
100%. We're 2 away from 350. So let's really do that. If you aren't subscribed already, do hit that subscribe button. It is appreciated by everyone. As Hayes is laughing his head off that Kenny was asleep. But yeah, until next time, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace out, guys.